Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast, Season 3, Episode 18. 2 weeks into this wild journey of a BSHL Senior Hockey League season. I'm joined by my co-host and good friend Corey. How you doing?
I'm doing very good. You sound a little tired.
Yeah, I'm beat. What are you going to do, though? That's hockey. I stayed up and watched most of the Jays game, or all the Jays game last night, and I suffered.
I did the same thing.
So.
I'm not much of a baseball guy, but to quote Corey Robb Show, Canada could make it to the finals. So.
Yeah, I always like when it's a team like the Raptors or the Jays that like all of Canada rallies around.
Yeah,
it's fun, but I don't know. Probably gonna take we record this on Monday. Spoiler alert to anybody. Spoiler alert to nobody. We record this on Monday, so the Jays have not played yet. So, no. Hey Corey, let's pretend that we record this on Tuesday. Oh, huge Jays win last night, Corey.
Oh my God, it's can't believe it. Jays versus Dodgers. Oh my God,
amazing, man. The Jays worked really hard. Unfortunately, they lost that game, Corey.
Goddamn Seattle.
Well, at least one of those is right. So
go Dodgers.
Pick whichever one's right. Pick whichever one's right, and that's the one we're going with. Good weekend of hockey, Corey. Let's get right into it.
Fantastic week of hockey. Let's get right into it. Start off with the LC Puck Duck Hawks making the trip to Amherst. The Hawks beat the Ducks 7-6 in overtime. Some of the goal scorers, game-tying goal and overtime goal. Jeremy Hebert, 2 goals. What an incredible weekend for him. Vincent Delaurier, he continues to impress. 1 goal, 3 points. Brody MacArthur, he continues to impress. 1 goal, 4 points. Danny Crate, he continues to impress. 1 goal, 4 points. Mackenzie Brown with 1 goal. Alex Arsenault with, I believe 4 assists. And I believe Alex Scully had 1 goal. I know there was some confusion there. We thought Arsenault had a goal, but according to the website, Arsenault has 4 assists, Scully has 1 goal. We're going to go with that. On the other side, Kiefer Lyons with the hat trick that night. Rob Van Weinsberg with 2 goals. Chris Doyle with 2 assists. And Tyler Copeland with 1 goal. This could shape up to be game of the weekend.
Yeah, man, it's I don't know. It was a good one. It was an exciting one. It's probably not my favorite game, but I did enjoy it. Man, good job to Fundy Fun Factory on their stream as well. Yep. This was a nice back and forth game. I thought the Ducks were going to take it in the third. Then somehow LC battled back. They just, this LC team right now, they're working their ass off.
I think, like I mentioned this last year, to start the season, you like to know what the storylines are. Like, after a few weeks, the storylines start to take shape. And LC kind of feels like Miramichi last year. LC's made every game close. Some they win, some they lose, but they don't get slaughtered. And this was their first, and as of right now, only win. They've only had 3 games. But LC is still extremely shorthanded, but still working their ass off. Vincent Delaurier, I think he's going to be one of the fan favorites in LC. Just, you can tell he cares. My heart goes for the Ducks, though. I don't believe they've had a win yet.
Nope.
And how do you turn that around? They're the little engine that could.
It doesn't get easier from here. They're on the road this Friday against Bucktush and Capelé. That's tough. I think, if there's one weakness right now on the Ducks, it's probably defensively. They probably need a little bit of help there. They've still currently got a level 1 card that's free. So hopefully they can find some help there somewhere.
Hopefully. You hate to see it. One team has to win, one team has to lose. We've kind of grown attached to all the teams in this league. So you're happy for one team and you feel sad for the other team, but that's kind of the decision that we've made. There was another game that Friday. Belle Bay finally gets their first win. They beat the Miramichi Northmen 5-4 in a shootout. Belle Bay's Luke Williams got 1 goal and 2 points. Sean Doucette, 1 goal, 2 points. Jeremy Duguay, 1 goal. Sam McFarlane, 1 goal. And Pierre-Luc Ouellet with 2 assists. Miramichi's Will Irvine with 1 goal, 2 points. Riley McKnight with 1 goal. Josh Russell with 1 goal. Sam King continues to perform with 1 goal. And Denver Dunfield, 2 assists. It's funny because I believe Bell Base had 3 games. One very close with Miramichi. They get the win in a shootout. The other 2 games were against Dalhousie. And I was on my walk earlier today, and that's the one I was thinking about. Dalhousie's only had 2 games, and it's against Bell Bay. And they did not look good for Bell Bay. I'm curious to see what Dalhousie's going to look like against a Bucktouche, against a Miramichi, against an LC Puckduck. Because I feel like they got Bell Bay's number. I don't know if it's they got into their heads. Do I think Dalhousie is a powerhouse team? 100%. 100%. But we've seen them against exactly one team. So I don't know if you can judge anything on that.
I completely agree with you. I think, I don't know. I want to see. I'm happy for Valve. For Miramichi, I think I was shocked that they picked up a loss here.
Yeah.
This was Miramichi's only game this weekend, I believe, Corey?
Yes, I believe they have 2 games next weekend.
So we come out of that, and on today, Monday, there's a new player announced for
the Miramichi Mike's Bar and Grill Northman.
Thank you. And it's Joël Blanchard.
Joël Blanchard, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you're used to covering too many games in Boctouche where they're all LeBlancs. It's 8 LeBlancs and a couple other guys. No, so Blanchard has played he played in the MJHL with the Commandos, played a little bit in the Q with Halifax, a little bit in the Q with Bathurst.
The name sounds very familiar to me. He's never played in the BSHL, right?
He has. So he played with the Les Acadiens Caraquet for a couple of years, and then he played last year with the Peninsula. 15 games played with the Peninsula, 7 goals, 5 assists. The only question I have here, and we don't have anything confirmed, but for them to pick up this guy who's a level 1, somebody has to be gone. So we're going to be waiting for confirmation on that, waiting to hear from teams. But Blanchard added to Miramichi. I think this is going to be a good, hard-working player, and it kind of makes sense with some of the guys that they have. I'm thinking about like Bezo and Jones, just to keep adding guys from the Peninsula. So I think Miramichi bounces back. I wouldn't be terribly worried if I'm a Northman fan. I think they bounce back.
I mean, it was a close game. It was a close game. You're on foreign territory, and you come out of it with a point at least. Like, if last year told us anything, teams are good at home.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for Bell Bay, this helps.
They needed this. They absolutely
build some confidence, keep the fans engaged. So I was pretty happy about that. Saturday, what do we have?
Saturday, we made the trip to Fredericton, where the Fredericton Express beat the LC Puck Hawks 5-3. Goal scorers for Fredericton: Ryan T-Sink, 2 goals; Adam Crow, 1 goal; Kenny Robinson, according to the website, 1 goal. I thought it was 2, but they credited Brett Gallant with the other goal, For LC Puck, Brody MacArthur, 1 goal, 2 points. Daniel Cret, 1 goal, 2 points. And Vincent Delaurier, 1 goal. The story of this game is the first half of this game. Probably even more than half. Like, the first 2 periods, LC dominated. They could not figure out Capriati. And I think by the third, end of the second, I think the Hawks, shorthanded, I think they gassed themselves out.
So my literal notes here says, and I'll read it because it's more fun if I just read it to you. It says, you would think the first thing I'd talk about is Fredericton, but I'm going to get to that, and we're starting with the Hawks.
Yeah.
Because a short bench, they worked their ass off again. And everybody played hard up and down the lineup. It was a pretty impressive game by the Hawks. I think they gassed out. Capriati looked good again. Fredericton showed how relentless they're going to be this year, and their depth and their experience and their leadership. Great game by T-Sink. A solid game by Simpson and net.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, really good game by Hardy. I want to talk a little bit about Adam Carl. Adam Carl's this like he's like a level 3 card. I am not terribly familiar with him prior to
Same.
this season. He's got a fight. He's thrown some hits. He played parts of this game on like the first line, second line. Like this guy's playing good hockey. I'm just rather impressed with Adam Carl so far. So credit to him. I love those hardworking guys. Corey, are you there? You lagged for a bit there. We're back.
You there?
Yeah, we're good. All right. Well, we'll just keep it. This is reality, guys. We record this online, and sometimes there's some lag. Corey, you can hear me now.
I can still barely hear you.
All right, so I'll keep going. Yeah, no, I think Capriotti was phenomenal in net. Fredericton just kept the pressure up, and it paid off. I was very, very happy with how the Hawks played, though. I think if they battle like that every night, that's going to be a good senior hockey team that's going to eventually get those wins. And the Hawks fans that I saw at the game, those Hawks fans were quite happy with how they played. So, great game by them. Corey, we're going to move on to the next game on Saturday night now. I believe it was in Dalhousie.
Dalhousie beat the Bell Bay Rock 9-2. Wasn't even close. Goal scorers for that game. Dawson Stairs with the hat trick and an extra point, so 4 points in total. Vincent Charret with 2 goals, 3 points. Pascal Valcourt, 1 goal, 3 points. And Brendan Coulombe with 1 goal, 2 points. The sole goal scorer for Bell Bay was Jordan Owens, who had 2 goals. Dalhousie is interesting here for me because, again, they face Bell Bay. Again, they absolutely massacre them. And for people that are going to say that's disrespectful, what do you want me to say? 9-2. It's a massacre. Dalhousie has their number right now. How do you figure out Dalhousie if you're Bell Bay? They have the talent. They most certainly do. But there's something not clicking with Bell Bay right now. I think they need more time together. There needs to be more chemistry. I don't know. I'm curious to see Dalhousie versus Fredericton, Dalhousie versus Bucktouche, Dalhousie versus LC versus Miramichi. I think those will show where Dalhousie is in the pecking order, because I think they still finish really high. But you faced the same team twice and completely dominated. So
I agree with you. I think it's hard to judge the Dalhousie team right now. Are they going to be 2023, 2024 again? Are they just going to, be that dominant? Or are they just playing a style that Bell Bay can't handle? Like playing 2 games against the same team, it's hard to tell. And again, like you said, Bell Bay, new team, not the most chemistry, a lot of talent. I think big win against Miramichi on Friday night. Unfortunately, they go to Dalhousie and they just can't figure them out. I wouldn't give up on Bell Bay if I'm a Bell Bay fan, but if I'm a Dalhousie fan, I'm getting really excited to see this Saturday night, Bucktouche makes the trip. So Bucktouche is going to be definitely a bigger challenge for Dalhousie. It's going to be there's a rivalry there going back a couple of years. So I think that's going to be very interesting. But right now, I'm kind of curious. I want to see more of this Dalhousie team. Are they cycling the puck? Are they dominant like they were in 2023, 2024? I want to see more of Edik Phi. I really want to see Stairs. I don't know. I'm excited to see this Dalhousie team a little bit more, but big win for Dalhousie. They're currently 2-0.
2-0. I believe they're not in first. I believe Bucktouche is in first.
Bucktouche will be in first,
They have an extra point there. So speaking of Bucktouche, the game everybody was waiting for, we were there. Sunday, the Bucktouche JCs beat the Fredericton Express 4-1. Matthew Newcomb with 2 goals. Malcolm Arsenault with 1 goal, 2 points. Julien Hebert with 1 goal, 3 points. Patrice Carmier with 2 assists. And the sole goal scorer for Fredericton, Gavin Hart, 1 goal. Fredericton had a hard time figuring out Bukdush. It's as simple as that. I think they, like, Mark, our buddy Mark, came to the game. Mark played hockey as a youth and all that. And Mark's looking at me and he goes, Fredericton's throwing the body a lot. Like, a lot. And he's like, and I don't think it's necessary. And I, like, good eye on him. I didn't really notice that. But it was a very physical game. And, you know, I think Fredericton scored within the last 2-3 minutes of the third period. So, you know, their win there was canceling out the shutout. So,
100%. I think Fredericton was probably a little tired after Saturday. Bucktush wanted it. Bucktush was opening on home ice. They're just big, good crowd. You know, the JCs, they just played friggin' well. And it's not that Fredericton played poorly. Fredericton did have some good scoring chances. Colette made some huge saves. This was, you know, a fun game to watch.
I think the saves got more reactions than the goals, because there were some saves that it's like, is Alex Colette made of rubber bands? Like, how does he stretch that far to catch a puck?
Yeah, some pretty impressive stuff. I think for the JCs, last year they were impressive. Mm-hmm. The only hole was on defense. Mm-hmm. And we've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm probably going to talk about it again in a few weeks. They go out, they pick up Durapo. Durapo's a little more offensive-minded, but he's a good balanced guy. They bring in Bezo, who's got all that experience. You bring in Clark, who's playing like some solid shutdown defense right now. Mm-hmm. You add to that, you know, LeBlanc and everybody else that's already been there for Bukdush. And, you know, people were like, oh, they needed a little bit of help offensively. They really signed everybody they picked up pretty much was on D, and you lose Parento. But then the one thing that we didn't factor in was having all this extra D frees up Malcolm Arsenault to go back to his natural position as a forward. And man, he's been really, really good up front. Yep. So they didn't necessarily go out and sign a big name forward, but maybe one of the best pickups last year in the BSHL is Malcolm Arsenault, and now he's playing up front and looking stellar. So I think it's making it easier on Colette. Mm-hmm. He's facing less shots as the rebounds are getting pushed aside a little quicker. They're just playing good, man, right now. I look forward to seeing them on Friday in Cap-Pelé. I think it's going to be it's good. They're a fun game, fun team, and they have 5 out of 6 possible points right now in the year, right? They've got that overtime loss in Miramichi, and then 2 wins to follow that up. I think it's very exciting for Bukdush fans. So that's the week.
That's the week, and as the week winds down, forward leaders in points is Ryan Tiesink. He has 3 goals and 9 points in grand total. The defensive leader, Danik Kret, 2 goals, 7 points here. And goalie wins goes to LeMay because he has 2 wins and no other losses. So Colette also has 2 wins but has 1 OT loss, so gave it to Adrian LeMay. In the East right now, Bukdush leads with 2 wins, 0 loss, and 1 OT loss. Fredericton Express has 2 wins, 1 loss, 0 OT losses. Third, the LC Duck Hawks, 1 win, 2 losses, no overtime losses. And the Amherst Ducks have 0 wins, 1 loss, and 1 OT loss. In the North, Dalhousie leads 2-0-0. Miramichi is next with 1-0-1, and Bell Bay follows with a 1-2-0. And now it is the debate that we have been dreading, because we've been talking since last night, myself and Corey. This is a hard decision to make, because like even Corey at the Fredericton game looked at me and he goes, we can't go on points. Like, it's not fair because Dalhousie has 9 goals right now. So
it's got to be a balance of points, importance of the points, a bunch of different things go into it for me. And we're debating it right here. We're going to talk it out a little bit. So,
as of last night, my list my list went like this, and this isn't the official list. This is not the official list. I want to make that perfectly clear. On forwards, I had Brody MacArthur with 6 points in 2 games, Julian Hebert with 3 points, and Ryan T-Sink with 2 goals in Fredericton in 2 games, technically. But T-Sink really rallied. He had that first goal that started the comeback for the Fredericton Express. On D, Jeremy Hebert, tying goal and OT goal in 2 games. Danny Crate, 6 points in 2 games. It's hard to argue. I think goalie win, I gave it to Alex Collette, but we're not satisfied with just that, so we're debating here right now.
I think Dawson Stairs was on that list for me as well. 3 goals, 1 assist in a game that got out of hand, and obviously Dallas won but a lot, but 4 points in 1 game. I mean, it's an impressive game for me. Malcolm Arsenault for the importance of his 1 goal, 1 assist. I think I agree that I don't think Fredericton comes back without T-Sink on Saturday. I think T-Sink gets a player of the week. So we're going to ink that in right now, T-Sink player of the week. I feel like, for me, Dawson Stairs, man, he's played so well the last 2 weeks. I give Dawson Stairs a player of the week.
Okay.
I have a hard time not giving it to Brody MacArthur for that 3rd player of the week up front. I think his importance for the Hawks is... I mean, the guy's he looked good last year, all right? Let's talk about Brody MacArthur for a second. He looked good last year. His first year as a junior playing senior. We saw him settle down and get better and better every game. This year, he's looked incredible, just incredible. The Hawks have been dressing 14, 15 players, and one of the biggest highlights, despite them getting 2 losses in 3 games, Brody MacArthur for me is a player of the week. Do you agree with those 3, Corey?
I do. I had, one of the things is we had 3 Hawks players. And Corey was like, it's not it's Hawks players. It's that it's 3 from the same team. You want a little bit more of a balance. Brody MacArthur has 6 points in 2 games with a short bench. One of these is a win. And the other against Fredericton, they gassed out at the end, but still pushed to win.
So I think we're in agreement on those 3 forwards, player of the week.
I agree with that. Brody, T-Sink, and Stairs.
On defense, I don't think we have any argument at all. I think Danik had 6 points in 2 games. That's impressive for a forward. Mm-hmm. That's very impressive for a defenseman.
Yeah.
So, and then Jeremy Hebert. I mean, I can't emphasize enough that snipe against Amherst, and he really rallied that team back to win that game in Amherst.
So for me, I saw Jeremy at the Bucktouche game. Super nice guy, super nice.
Yeah, I love Hebert, man. We had the chance to interview him last year. Go ahead.
Yeah, we were watching that game as a group, and when that OT win from Hebert happened, that's the first thing you said. You were like, Hebert gets it immediately. Doesn't matter what happens the rest of the weekend.
When a defenseman gets an overtime goal, that was a great game.
Not just an overtime, but the game tying goal.
Oh, yeah, guys played amazing. I want to give a shout out to the Fundy Fun Factory and to K Sports Live. Fundy Fun Factory streaming the Amherst games, looking great, man. They're doing a great job with those. Mm-hmm. They're trying to find some sponsors. Reach out to them if you're local and you want to sponsor. Reach out to them.
It's funny because they also talk wrestling like I usually do.
There's some cool guys. I've been chatting with them a lot. And then K Sports Live, I actually met yesterday in Bucktouche. His name's Corey as well, which is hilarious. He looked at me, he's like, "Hey, Corey," and I was like, "Hey." Shook his hand. He's like, "My name's Corey," and I was like, "All right, well, this is going to be fun." But super nice guy. Background in sports, but loves to stream it. He's going to be doing some of the Fredericton games. So give both those guys a follow on Facebook, on YouTube, K Sports Live from Fredericton, and the Fundy Fun Factory out of Amherst. It's great to see some more streamers in the league, and that at the end of the day, more of this hockey is being seen, and the attendance so far has been amazing across the league. So you gotta love it. But our goalie of the week, Corey, we didn't mention, but it's Collette, right?
I picked Collette. He has the 1 win. They only played once, but Collette stood on his head yesterday.
Yeah, he played phenomenal, man. Fredericton pushed.
Oh yeah, man. It was, And you look at the guys on Fredericton that are just like natural goal scorers, like the Peter Trainers and the Adam Crows, and even T-Sync, you know, peppered him with shots, and it just would not pass him. Colette, I'll die on that hill. Colette should have been goalie of the year last year. I think it was a mistake giving it to Welsh. Just flat out. Welsh played very well for the Ducks. Very well. Wins should matter. You know, like you even said it at the beginning. The one thing that Bucktouche improved was defense. Last year, their defense wasn't great. Who was great for them? Alex Collette. And got no... That's what broke my heart when Miramichi bounced them from the playoffs.
I'd go the opposite side. I do think that... I just think Welsh was... he was such a great goaltender. And I think this year... Maybe we're going to be seeing that in Elsie because, my God, Capriati has played so well. He's almost stolen them their 2 losses, and he definitely held them in for that win. So, Capriati's been playing great. I love goaltending. It's just one of my passions. But so, players of the week have been decided. Corey, what were our predictions? What did that look like coming out of the week?
You went 3-1, and I went. You went 4-1, and I went 3-2.
Okay, well, you had a better week than last week.
Yeah. So I officially have 3-6, and you have 7-2 for the 2 weeks.
Okay, well, you're battling. You're battling.
We're battling. We'll decide our next week for next episode.
Yep, next episode we'll go through that. Fantasy, we've been talking about it a little bit, so we're going to go through the standings right now in this stupid fantasy thing, which has become like so much work and is also absolutely hilarious. So it's Corey, myself, Connor, and Ricky. Right now, Corey's sitting in first place, Connor sitting in dead last. Ricky
that's what you said you wanted. You said you were going to crush Connor, and you are.
Well, it's not me. You're the one who's crushing Connor. I'm not doing great.
You're welcome.
Second place first place Corey, second place Ricky, third place by a long, there's like a drop off after Ricky. Third place is me, and Connor and I are very close. Connor and I are battling. We're like those we're the bottom. We're battling for a playoff spot already, and I'm gonna get my elbow up and give Connor the old elbow in the draw, give him the old shimmy. But yeah, that's the fantasy. It's been fun. I mean, we just have a chat and we shit talk, but it's been a lot of work. And it is what it is. The pick 'em, I'm just, I'm the best. What can you say? I'm the best at predicting senior hockey, apparently.
Yep.
It's a miracle. Anything else that we were talking about today, Corey?
I think that is it. Next week's games, I will only be at 1 because I will be at 2 wrestling shows. I did see one of our good friends go to, I believe he went to a few games this weekend. Maybe just one. Maybe I'm just misremembering things. But Jamie Haley was at least in Bucktouche yesterday. And Jamie Haley's really become a good friend of mine. And, the fact that we got him into senior hockey, a bit of a pat on our backs for that. We're bringing people in. Can't complain with that.
100%. I will be at a few more games. I'm not going to wrestling this weekend.
I think Corey might be taking a day off this weekend.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to take. There's not a ton of traveling, so I'll be in Capillet for sure on Friday. I'm probably going to make the trip to Fredericton on Saturday night. I'll be at the LC game on Sunday. The LC game's an easy one, so it's not bad. Capillet, at least it's not terribly far. And I don't think I can miss that Fredericton game. But I'll be taking a day off here coming up pretty soon. This weekend what killed me was I worked Saturday morning, so I worked from I left at home at 7:30, worked till 2, and then went to Fredericton, watched that game, drove home, got home around 2 in the morning. That's a solidly long day right there. So, but happy with what we're doing. Really happy
because Corey was in high spirits leaving the game. Like we went to McDonald's and no tomatoes.
I mean, I love to tease Cheryl. What can you say? But yeah, somewhere along the way, I got pretty tired. So I'll have time to rest here. Not tonight because I'm going to go watch that Jays game later on, but sometime soon. Well, Corey, thanks for being here. We'll be back
Thanks
on
for having me.
Thursday night. Thanks everyone for all the support, and thanks for supporting this great league. It's been really quite the start to the season, and that's all about you guys. So thank you all for supporting this great league. Corey, see you next game,
Take care.
show, next. I'm fucking tired. Screw it. See you soon.
Bye-bye.